Hello dear students, welcome to Kshell Classes. The first configuration of your learning begins here. In today's class, we are going to discuss one of the most important chapters of class 10th maths, that is Introduction to Trigonometry. Most of the students have been facing difficulty in solving the problems related to this chapter because they will be lacking basics. In just 10 to 15 minutes, we are going to cover all the basics related to this chapter. Now let us begin. Coming to this, first we need to understand what is trigonometry. Okay, what is trigonometry? If you want to say, it's very simple. If you consider any right angle triangle, okay, in this right angle triangle, if you consider any one of the angle, okay, this angle and sides, they are related to each other. So this branch of mathematics which deals with the angles and sides of a right angle triangle is called trigonometry. Very simple. Okay, if you say in simple words, trigon means triangle. Okay, metry means measurement, right? We are measuring the sides and angle. That is what trigonometry. Now, next coming to terms related to trigonometry. What are the terms related to this trigonometry? If you consider any one of the angles, say for example, if this is a triangle, ABC is a right angle triangle, because this is applicable only for right angle triangles, right? Trigonometry. If you take this angle, here angle A, for this angle, which is the side opposite to this angle, this side is opposite, right? So we call this as opposite side, okay? Or we can call this as what? Opposite side, okay? Otherwise, we can call this as what? Perpendicular. We can call this as perpendicular. Now, this side is adjacent to angle A. Okay, we can call this as adjacent side, right? Or we can also call this as base. Now, this angle should also be named. In terms of trigonometry, we are calling this angle as theta. Okay, if you take this angle as theta, to this theta, this is opposite side or perpendicular. We can call this as perpendicular P, or you can call this as base. Okay, this one. This now the longest side, which is opposite to this right angle. Okay, to this angle, this is opposite, right? We call this side as hypotenuse. Right? This is hypotenuse. You need to understand these first. Okay. Once if you know these terms related to this, now coming to here, this angle, if you consider, this is opposite. If you consider this angle, then this side will be opposite. You should keep this in mind. Okay. And this, if you are taking this as angle theta, then this is opposite side for this angle, and this will be adjacent because beside the angle, this side is there. So which side you are considering the angle, based on that you need to take opposite and adjacent. Okay. Hypotenuse remains same. Now coming to here of terms related to trigonometry over. Next coming to third point, that is trigonometric ratios. What are these trigonometric ratios? Very simple. If you take the lengths of any two sides of a triangle, that is right angle triangle, say for example AB and AC. If you consider AB and AC, how are these related? We are taking these. Okay. How? Say for example AB and AC. This is the ratio. If you are taking the ratio of these two sides, it is related to one of the angle. So what is that? Say for example, if it is angle C, if you are taking this only as theta, okay, angle C only as theta, then here what we say is, we can say this as sine theta is equal to AB upon AC. Means this angle, it is exactly equal to the ratio of the sides, these two sides, means opposite upon hypotenuse. We call this as opposite upon hypotenuse. See, otherwise we can also call this as what? Perpendicular divided by hypotenuse. So sine theta. This is what? One trigonometric ratio. Okay, one ratio, it is related by of one angle. We call this as sine theta. Okay. Next coming to what? Second one, cos theta. Cos theta, if you take, cos theta is what? It is again the ratio of the two sides. How are they related? BC upon AC you have to take. Okay, BC upon AC. BC upon AC. What are these? This BC is what here? Adjacent. Right? This is nothing but adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Right? Adjacent is taken as base. This is taken as hypotenuse H. You can take it like this. Right? So this is a second trigonometric ratio. This is first one. Next coming to third one. Say third one is tan theta we say. Tan theta means what? If you consider this angle, the side opposite to that, what is that? AB, okay, and adjacent side is BC. This you need to take. So what we say here, opposite divided by adjacent you are taking. This ratio if you consider, what is that? AB upon BC, right? This can also be written AB is P, BC is what? Base, right? So these are what? Trigonometric ratios: sine, cos, tan, okay? And other three trigonometric ratios also we are relating like that. How we are taking, whether we are taking opposite by hypotenuse or hypotenuse by opposite, based on that. If you take this as opposite by hypotenuse if you take, this will be equal to what? Sine, right? Sine theta. If you are reversing and taking, say for example, if you are taking this as hypotenuse divided by opposite, if you take this type of ratio, if you take, that angle will be taken as a what? Cosec theta. We call this as what? Cosec theta. Means what? Just a ratio, if you are inversing and taking, then that angle changes. We are taking this as cosec theta. Sin theta, cosec theta. In the same way, cos theta, if you reverse this, if you are taking this as what? Instead of this, if you are taking hypotenuse by base, if you are taking, this will be what? Sec theta, right? This will be sec theta, because hypotenuse by base by hypotenuse is what? Cos, right? Okay. Next coming to here, sec theta. Next last comes out of cot theta. Cot theta is what? It is the reverse of tan theta. So what we say here, if you are taking opposite by adjacent, that is tan theta. If you are taking adjacent by hypotenuse, that is what? Cot theta. So what we can say is here, base upon perpendicular, if you take, that will be cot theta. If you want tan theta is what? Tan theta is perpendicular by base. See, look at this. So like this it comes. These are just in quick revision, as you already studied, because your teachers have taught you very well. Just like revision, I have taken this one in case if you have any doubts, okay? Because before solving problems, we need to have these basics, only then it is possible. Okay, next, going ahead to the next one. What relation between trigonometric ratios? What is these relations? That is what we learned now. That is, if you are taking sine theta, okay, this sine theta is related to one more trigonometric ratio, that is cos theta, cosec theta. How they are related? 1 upon cosec theta, right? Sine theta if you take. Next, if you take cos theta, it is related to one more trigonometric ratio, that is what? Sec theta, right? Cos theta is 1 upon sec theta. Next, if you take tan theta, sine cos tan theta. Tan theta, if you take, it is related to another trigonometric ratio as 1 upon cot theta. You can take it like this, right? So you can change here, cot theta will be equal to 1 upon tan theta. Both are same, right? And if you reverse this, what do we get here? So sec theta will be equal to 1 upon cos theta, right? In the same way, this cosec theta will be equal to 1 upon sin theta. Okay, these relations you must know. And one more thing, here you can also express this tan theta as, how we can express? Tan theta can be written as sin theta divided by cos theta. You can express, and cot theta can be expressed as cos theta divided by sin theta, right? These are the relationship between trigonometric ratios. Okay. Next, coming to here, standard angles of trigonometric ratios. What are these standard angles? Say for example, if you are considering any angle, what triangle? Here this angle should be acute angle. Means it should be less than 90 degree, greater than 0 degree. Okay, this angle. If you take any triangle, this angle, that angle theta must be less than 90 degree and greater than 0 degree, right? Only for that it is applicable. In these trigonometric ratios, what we are taking is here 0, 30, 45, 60, 90 we are taking, right? First, if you take here 0 means what happens? Let us try to understand this. Here, say for example, this is the right angle triangle. Sine theta, say for example, sine theta means opposite by this we are taking, this perpendicular base hypotenuse we are taking, right? So if you are taking this sine theta, if you are taking sine A, what happens if you take sine A? Opposite means perpendicular by hypotenuse, right? This will be equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. Now you can say here this sine A means what is it? Is angle, right? This angle, if it is 0, see, if angle is 0, then opposite, what, this AB coincides with AC, okay? This comes down and it coincides with this, then there will be no hypotenuse. Then what happens? If there is no opposite side, opposite becomes what, 0 or not? Opposite becomes 0. That is why what happens? Sine A is equal to opposite is what, 0. Hypotenuse is what, as it is, whatever the value it may be. Say for example some value, whatever, 1, whatever. If you take here, what happens here? 0 upon 1 is what, equal to 0 or not? Okay, so that is why sine 0 will be equal to 0 degree. Okay, means what is sine 0 degree? If it is there, value will be 0. In the same way, 1 by 2. Okay, sine 30, if you take sine 30 degree, okay, means what does it mean? If you take any triangle, okay, if you consider any triangle, if it is 30 degree, if you are considering, if you are taking this for sine, if you are taking, say for example, this is 2 centimeter, then this is 4 centimeter. This is fixed because what we are taking here, sine 30. Sine 30 means 1 by 2. How it has to come? Opposite divided by hypotenuse. Okay, if you cancel this, you are getting 2 ones, 2 twos. Okay, 1 upon 2 only you will get, right? So means what? This will be double the opposite side. Length of the hypotenuse will be double the opposite side's length. So that is what these are fixed trigonometric ratios for standard angles. We are considering these are very much often used ones. 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. So coming to here, different ones if you take, you don't need to memorize all these things. Okay, just in one thing you can find some shortcuts. How we know? Here, just to remember only one trigonometric ratio, that is sine theta. Okay, sine theta. Here what we'll do is, here one is 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree, right? You need to remember only one here first. If you know one, the rest all easily it comes. Don't need to memorize. Say for example here we take here this side, okay, sine theta. If you take sine 0 0, right? Next comes what, 1 by 2. Next 1 by 2, 1 by root 2. Okay, next root 3 by 2. This will be 1. Only this line if you remember, rest all easily you can write. If you are taking cos theta, just you reverse this table and write. So what happens? 1 root 3 by 2. Next 1 by root as it is. This remains. Next is what? 1 by 2, right? Next coming to 0. This you know that. And if you go for tan, okay, you have to find tan theta. Here what? Tan 0 is what? Tan 0 is 0. How do we get this? Here we have already just now learned. What is that? Sin theta by cos theta. This is equal to tan theta or not? Tan theta, right? Sin theta is what? 0. Cos theta is 1. 0 by 1 what? 0 upon 1 means what? Value is 0 or not? That is why 0. Right? Next, in the same way, here also sin theta by cos theta. If you reverse this, okay, what this becomes? If you cancel root 3 by 2 divided by no, 1 by root 2. Okay, 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2. If you take, what is this cancels. What remains? 1 by root 3 remains, you see, right? So this becomes 1 by root 3. In the same way, here 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, it gets cancelled. What comes? 1 comes. So tan 45 is 1. Next comes what? Here 1 by root 3. Here root 3 by 2 divided by 1 by 2. Sin theta by cos theta, if you do, root 3 by 2 divided by 1 by 2 means what? 2 by 1 it becomes. Okay, this gets cancelled. What comes? Root 3 comes, right? Next comes what? Here 1 upon 0. 1 upon 0 means if you are dividing any number by 0, that is going to be undefined. So that is why not defined, we can say, right? Once if you know all these tricks to write this, rest all are just there. reciprocals. Say for example, next if you want cosec, how do you write cosec theta? Cosec theta is reverse of what? Your reciprocal of sin theta. So this becomes what? 0 means that becomes 1 upon 0, that becomes what? Not defined or not. Cosec theta. Next coming to here, 1 by 2, this becomes 2. Reciprocal of this 1 by root 2 is what? Root 2. Reciprocal of this root 3 by 2 means 2 by root 3, right? Cosec theta I am writing. Here this becomes what? 1. Reciprocal is 1 by 1. Again it is what? 1. So just you can see like this, right? Okay, now let us go ahead with one of the problem, that is in a right angle triangle ABC where angle B is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. If sine A is 3 by 5, if you are taking this angle as A, so 3 by 5 opposite by hypotenuse, right? Next, find cos A. They are asking, means what? We need to find this by this. So we don't know what is AB. We have to find out AB first. So according to Pythagoras rule, what is that? AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, right? Here, we need to find out what is AB first here. If you want AB, what can you do here? You bring it to other side, AC square minus BC square, right? AB square is equal to AC square means what? It is 5 square minus BC square means 3 square. So this can be written as AB is equal to square root of, this is what? 25. This is 25 minus 9. So AB is equal to root 16. Root 16. AB is equal to what? 4. Okay. Here we are getting two values. AB is equal to plus or minus. So one is minus 4, one is plus 4, right? So we need to consider this value, that is AB is plus 4. So AB is 4. Now you can easily find out what is angle, that is cos A. Cos A is what? It is adjacent by hypotenuse, that is adjacent. You write that adjacent by hypotenuse. So how to say that? Adjacent is 4, hypotenuse is 5, 4 by 5. Next, what is asked? Tan A. If you want tan A, you can find out. Tan A is opposite by adjacent. This will be equal to 3 by 4. Okay, if you want similarly, you can also find sec A. Sec A is what? It is inverse of what? Cos. So what we can say is, here cos is what? Adjacent by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse by adjacent, if you take, that will be sec. That is 5 by 4 will be sec. In the same way, if you want next one, cosec, if you want cosec, what you have found out? Sin A. Sin A is already given. What is given? It is 3 by 5. Cosec A will be 5 by 3, right? In the same way, cot A, if you want, cot A will be equal to, it is 4 by 3, because tan A is 3 by 4 means cot A will be 4 by 3. Okay, this is how you can find out. Next, if you go ahead with next one, you can try this, and triangle is not given like that, just it is shown one of the right angle where it is coming. Based on that, you have to find out. Here, what is given here? Tan theta is 12 by 5. Okay, tan theta is 12 by 5. Here we are taking this theta, 12 by 5 it is given. What you have to find out is sin theta and cos theta. Try this and comment your answers, and comment the topic which you want. Next, I will take up that one. Okay, thank you.